For over 500 years, the Kingsguard has protected the British royal family, standing as an unshakable force of discipline and tradition. Their towering presence and iconic bearskin hats might make them seem like part of the tourist attraction, but make no mistake, these elite soldiers do not tolerate nonsense. In this video, we'll count down 20 moments where people learned the hard way why you should never mess with the Royal Guards. From furious warnings to unstoppable marches, some of these encounters got seriously intense. And trust me, you'll want to stick around to see what happens when someone tries to touch one of their horses. It doesn't end well. Let's begin. 1. The tourist who threw a glove at a royal guard.
Throwing your gloves at him isn't going to work, is it really?
If you ever find yourself near a royal guard, don't test their patience. In this instance, a tourist thought it would be funny to throw a glove at the guard, expecting him to pick it up. But instead of playing along, the guard remained focused. But watch what happens next. Another passerby confronts the tourists about their bad manners. The tourists quickly realized that the royal guards are not here to entertain, they're here to do a job. 2. The tourist who thought he could be funny.
Oh! Get yourself away!
Some people think they can make the royal guards laugh. They can't. One tourist learned this the hard way when he stepped too close, trying to provoke a reaction. But instead of cracking a smile, the guard delivered a swift and powerful warning, his voice booming through the courtyard. Instantly, the man's grin disappeared. He thought he was being funny. The guard did not. 3. They never stopped marching. When a formation of royal guards is marching, nothing will stop them. No tourist, no camera, no clueless bystander, nothing. One unfortunate man found this out in the most painful way possible. As he casually stood in the street, unaware of the approaching troop, the soldiers stormed forward without hesitation, colliding into him with full force. They didn't slow down. They didn't break formation. They moved through him like he wasn't even there. These guards are trained to protect the monarchy, not dodge tourists. 4. Never touch a royal guard. Ever.
Get back to the Queen!
Some rules are unwritten but should be obvious. Like this one. Do not touch a royal guard. But in this case, one person clearly didn't get the message. Approaching the guard with a smirk, the tourist placed a hand on his shoulder, expecting to get a funny reaction. Instead, he got a sharp turn, an explosive command, and a very public warning that left him backing away fast. If you ever visit, keep your hands to yourself, unless you want to be the next tourist to get humiliated. 5. The group that learned respect the hard way.
Get off the fence!
A little playful mocking might seem harmless until you're dealing with the King's Guard. A group of young tourists thought it would be funny to lean against the fence, mimic the guard's movements, and joke around. But the moment they took it too far, the guard made his presence known. With a fierce step forward and a booming command, he sent the entire group into a panicked retreat. Lesson learned. These guards are here to protect, not to entertain. 6. Even the police aren't safe.
Yeah, boy.
You might think that police officers have some special privilege when it comes to the King's Guard, but you'd be wrong. In this instance, an officer unknowingly stood in the way of a marching troop. What happened next? The guards treated him just like any other obstacle. With a powerful warning and zero hesitation, they pushed forward, forcing the officer to step aside immediately. It doesn't matter who you are. When the King's Guard is on duty, no one is above the rules. 7. The woman who got too close. Royal guards may allow tourists to take photos nearby, but there's one golden rule: don't invade their personal space. Unfortunately, one woman made that mistake when she walked right up to a marching guard to snap a picture. Within seconds, she was met with a shove that sent her flying. She quickly backed off, realizing that these guards are not here for selfies. Respect the distance, or expect an instant reality check. 8. Blocking the marching path. Bad idea?
Bye-bye!
Some tourists seem to forget that these guards are not here for amusement. They're on a mission. One unsuspecting visitor stood directly in the path of a marching troop, completely unaware of what was about to happen. Without hesitation, the soldiers plowed forward, forcing their way through without breaking stride. The tourist was left scrambling out of the way, learning the hard way that the King's Guard does not stop for anyone. 9. The teenagers. Who thought it was a game?
Wait! The King's Guard!
You'd think basic respect would be obvious. But for this group of teenagers, it wasn't. Standing in the middle of a marching path, they thought it would be funny to test the limits of the King's Guard. But they quickly realized their mistake when the soldiers marched forward without hesitation, forcing them to scatter in every direction. The guards didn't flinch, didn't hesitate, and most importantly, didn't stop. The message was clear. This is not a game. 10. The tourists who got too close. The guards don't issue warnings for fun, they mean business. In this instance, tourists got too close to a soldier and were immediately met with a firm command. But instead of stepping back, they hesitated. A huge mistake. Without missing a beat, the guard asserted his position, making it crystal clear that the King's Guard does not tolerate interference. When you hear that warning, you only have one option: move. Before we continue, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying this content, it would mean a lot if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel. Fun fact, over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. Subscribing is completely free, and it helps us bring you more great content. Thanks so much for your support. Now, back to the video. 11. The guard, who had enough. The King's Guard is known for their patience, but everyone has their limits. At Windsor Castle, a group of tourists decided to mock a marching guard, mimicking his movements and laughing. At first, he ignored them, staying focused on his patrol. But when they pushed him too far, he finally snapped. With a powerful step forward and an authoritative command, he made it clear: disrespect will not be tolerated. The crowd instantly fell silent, realizing they had just made a serious mistake. 12. The girl who got hit by a guard's ceremonial movement.
Maisie Gregory, just 6 years old, was likely living the most exciting moment of her life when she participated in a tribute to Queen Elizabeth II in Cardiff, Wales. However, she ended up receiving a strong blow to the
While the Royal Guards are strictly disciplined, there are moments when things don't go as planned. During a tribute to Queen Elizabeth II, a 6-year-old girl named Maisie Gregory stood excitedly in the front row. But as the ceremonial formation moved, she accidentally got caught in the motion, receiving an unexpected knock to the face. The Queen didn't notice, but the guard, sticking to protocol, later stepped forward to apologize to her mother, showing that while duty comes first, they still have a human side. 13. The horse that had enough? It's not just the guards that demand respect. Their horses do too. A tourist thought it would be funny to get a little too close to a King's Guard horse, ignoring the clear warnings, but the horse wasn't having any of it. In an instant, it jerked its head back, snapping at the tourist with its teeth. A quick reminder that these majestic animals aren't just for decoration. They're highly trained and expect to be treated with respect. 14. The tourist who got too close to a guard's horse and instantly regretted it.
Step back from the line, guard! Not touch the rein!
There's a reason why tourists are warned not to touch the royal guard's horses, but some people just can't help themselves. In this instance, one visitor stepped way too close, reaching out for the reins. Within seconds, a booming voice rang out, "Stay away from the Queen's personal guard!" The person immediately jumped back, realizing they had just made a huge mistake. The guards don't shout out of frustration. They do it to maintain order and safety. 15. The tourist who got trapped. When marching royal guards approach, there's no escape. One unfortunate tourist found themselves completely trapped between two approaching guards. With nowhere to go, they were caught in the middle as the soldiers pushed past without hesitation. They tried to move, but it was too late. The guards never break formation, no matter who is in their way. 16. The woman who didn't understand personal space.
Get back! Stay away from
There's appreciating the royal guards, and then there's getting way too close. In this instance, a woman stepped right into a guard's personal space, completely unaware of what was coming next. Without missing a beat, the soldier turned, issued a booming command, and stood his ground. The tourist was startled and backed off immediately, realizing that even a small step too close could lead to a big reaction. Lesson learned: personal space is not optional. 17. The tourist who stood in the wrong place.
my way! Quick march!
Some tourists think they've found the perfect photo spot, until they realize they've made a huge mistake. One visitor unknowingly planted himself directly in the middle of a marching path, casually setting up for a picture. Moments later, a formation of King's guards came storming through, forcing him to jump out of the way at the last second. The guards didn't slow down, they didn't hesitate, they simply moved forward, whether he was ready or not. 18. The guard who refused to smile, no matter what. Many people try to make the royal guards laugh, but they don't realize just how serious the consequences can be. In this instance, a young woman tried everything she could to crack a guard's composure, making faces, dancing, and even joking loudly, but the soldier never flinched. Why? Because smiling while on duty isn't just frowned upon, it can lead to a pay deduction of £275 in suspension. That's right, one laugh could literally cost them hundreds of pounds. No matter how funny you think you are, you won't get a reaction. 19. The tourist who learned the hard way. One of the biggest mistakes a tourist can make? Ignoring the sound of marching boots. In this moment, a visitor was so focused on taking a picture that they failed to notice an entire troop of King's guards heading straight for them. By the time they realized what was happening, it was too late. A guard issued a thunderous warning, and the person barely managed to move before getting run over. Next time, maybe they'll listen. 20. The guards train for fainting, but don't expect them to break character. Wearing a thick wool tunic and a massive bearskin hat under the blazing sun is no easy task. But here's something most people don't know. The royal guards actually train to faint. That's right. If they lose consciousness, they must fall in a straight, controlled motion to maintain professionalism. In one historic event, multiple guards collapsed in the heat, but not one of them broke character. That's the level of discipline we're dealing with. Discipline. Bonus: the guards who adjust each other's hats, their uniforms may look stylish, but they're also steeped in history. One of the most iconic pieces? The massive bearskin cap, a traditional part of their attire since the early 1800s. But here's something most people don't know. Only the guards themselves are allowed to touch them. That's why during shifts or inspections, you'll sometimes see one soldier carefully adjusting another's hat. It's a rare sight and a reminder that even the smallest details must be absolutely perfect. And there you have it, 20 moments plus one extra, that prove why you should never mess with the King's Guard. Whether it's a commanding warning, a powerful march, or even a horse enforcing the rules, one thing is certain: these soldiers and their steeds mean business. Which moment surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping content.